Where's this monster? I can hear him somewhere. Is he down in my teleporter room? If he is, I'll give him a bit of this, and a bit of that, and a hoo-yeah. Hoo-yeah! How are you there? This is Vintage Story. My name is the Feckless Rogue. A mysterious seed phrase plus world settings were revealed to me one night during a lightning storm as I was drinking a magic potion. This is that world. Follow along as discoveries are made and mysteries unfold. Yahoo! Hello again, Feckless friends. I'm the Feckless Rogue, and welcome to episode whatever number it's at in the intro there. Okay, Elka Mago. In this episode, I would like to tell you a story. I was making plans for this episode, and I was thinking of making a display room or kind of a museum, and which reminded me of a funny story from when I was a kid. I went to the first museum I'd ever seen, and I've made myself a new fireplace, which looks kind of cool, I reckon. I'll show you it now. But I've also made this list up here. I'm going to get into the story now in a second. I have plans to make a room full of teleporters, but I can't get those teleporters unless I have a steel weapon to take the teleporters apart. To get a steel weapon, I'm going to need an iron anvil to bang steel weapons on. To make steel, I'm going to need all these refractory bricks to make some kind of oven, especially for making steel. Somewhere in there I need a pulverizer to grind some stuff for those refractory bricks. I think mortar is the thing. I don't have bauxite. That's another ingredient I'm going to need to make the teleporter room. I need to make a teleporter room. I'm thinking of making it over there. I think we'll chop down this monstrosity and make the teleporter room. We'll make it underground right here, and right above it we'll make the display room, because I reckon it's better to display the stuff rather than going through boxes looking for my stuff. I can't find stuff. I'd rather be able to look at a glance and see the stuff I need to trade, because once I've got my teleporters up and going, I'll be teleporting to all the traders and making all those rusty gears. Right, let's have a sit down here and I'll tell you this silly story. There we go. Nice and comfy by the fire. What do you think of my weird fireplace and weird chimney? So let's begin the story. Are you sitting comfy just like me? Nice and warm? With a hot bum bum? Drink in hand? A carrot on your table? And a knob of coal in your hand? Good. Then I shall begin. The story begins when I'm kind of telling a story about another classmate. When I was in primary school, for those non-Europeans, is kind of like middle school. So I was in primary school and we went for a school trip to a museum. We went to the Natural History Museum of Ireland, which was kind of cool, we thought, because we thought we'd see like cavemen or something. Our imaginations were gone crazy. But anyway, we all get dropped off on this bus and scuttled in a doorway. And as we walk in the doorway, the first thing that we all see is these glass cabinets ahead of us, full of these like little deer and furry creatures and what have you. That's like taxidermy. It's the first time me and everybody in my class see something like this, so we're all like, whoa. We kind of rush forward to it just to kind of look at these dead creatures standing, and our teacher is giving us the shh, be quiet, and a guy who works there kind of comes over and he's going to guide us around and what have you, and he kind of says to us, kids, turn around, you've missed the main attraction of this whole museum. I guess it was because we were really small. When we walked in, we just walked right past these giant Irish elk. They're these extinct creatures. They were so big, like they were just like the skeletons of them. So we were kids, we never seen skeletons, so we were only like, our eye height was the same height as like their shin bones, so we didn't register they were skeletons. So we just walked right past two of them, under them basically, because they've got huge antlers. And we didn't notice them because we were looking at these other furry creatures. And we turn around and we see these giant skeletons. Well, basically their arses looking at us. And we were like, whoa, what the hell? And we made it, there was a bit of a commotion because we, you know, they might as well be dinosaurs to us. They might actually be dinosaurs. What do you call those? Giant elk? Megalosaurus or something? I don't know. Yeah, and like the museum guy is like, okay, we have to be quiet, kids, because this is a museum. Kind of like we're used to libraries and what have you. So we're all standing there trying to shush each other up and stuff while we look at these skeletons. And the museum guy tells us lots of factoids about this giant elk. None of it I remember now. The thing that I thought was funny was there's a kid in my class, and his name, he had a mad ridiculous Irish name. It was Fiacra O'Houlihan or something like that. We get to a stage where they're like, you can ask questions about these giant elk. Fiacra's hand shoots up straight away, and this guy was always a bit weird. So the second he put his hand up, we could see like everybody's kind of looking at each other like, oh, here it comes, something weird. And I think why we thought he was weird was because he had a goat out his back garden, and we lived in like council houses. It's just a big suburb, load of council houses, just houses that are stuck to each other. So you had neighbours on each side. Not really farmland or anything like that, but for some reason this guy would have a goat, sometimes two goats, and then back to one goat. I don't know whatever happened to the other one, but when you were going past his place you could kind of smell these things. But anyway, his hand jumps up straight away to ask a question, and straight away he's like, how big would be the shit out of this elk? And all of us just erupt in laughter, and then the teachers are like, shh, quiet. And you know when that thing happens, like at a funeral or in school or whatever, where you know you're not supposed to laugh, but it's making you laugh harder, and you're trying your best not to laugh. Everyone's like, you don't want to even look at your classmate because that just sets you off laughing again. We're all being told we'll get lines, as in like our punishment was you just write out lots of lines of something. We're being threatened with lines unless we stay quiet. It takes forever for us to calm everybody down, just to be quiet. And we finally get settled, and the museum guy is like, okay, where were we? Does anyone have questions? Faker's hand straight away jumps up. He didn't even say anything. We're all in bits. We're howling at this stage. Again, it takes ages to calm down, and in the middle of all that, he's like, what? I genuinely want to know, how big is it? And you're like, okay, it's like, you're like, the museum guy was like, you want to know how big it is? He kind of shows with his hands, and you're like, about this big, and he's like, but what weight would that be? The museum guy had an assistant whispering in his ear, and he says to him, oh, it would be around 10 pound. And Faker's eyeballs just widened. I could see that he was like, cogs were turning in his head. And I'm convinced that he thought £10 as in money. We weren't on the euro back then. We were on pennies and pounds. And I think he thought he could sell elk poop for like £10. Obviously, these things are extinct. He can't. But which makes me think, what was he doing with all the goat shit out of his back garden? Who knows? Oh yeah. While explaining the size of the poop or the weight of it, he says it would have 10 pounds of fecal matter, and straight away his hand goes up again, and they're like, yes. And he says, what is fecal matter? And he explains it's poop. And again, we are in ribbons. The kids are holding our stomachs, and but we're getting better at calming down, because it's been a half an hour of laughing, and I hear, shut up, Elka. I hear Figure say, "That's a good name for him." And I could already tell right there and then, like, that's his new name. We changed his name from Fiacra to Fecal. So he was called Fecal Fiacra and all sorts of variations. At some stage, the museum guy had asked him, "What's your name?" And he said Fiacra. And then later on, when they were calming all the kids down and he asked another question, he said, "Yes, Fecal." Instead of Fiacra. And oh my god, I remember creasing. I fell over and I felt like a click happen on the top of my brain or my skull cap or something. I thought my brain was going to burst out from trying my best to hold in laughter. Oh yeah, and the weird part was, and this nearly killed me. He Fecal had a big nose, and he was obsessed with smells. And he asks at some point, "Can he smell the elk?" And the museum guy is like, "Why? Like, I don't think you want to smell it. It'll just smell like chemicals because the bones have been treated because it's like thousands of years old or something." And he was like, "I'm just really curious," but kind of like trying to keep kids amused. He says, "Sure, go ahead." And we're all kind of let loose at this stage. We're supposed to explore the place, but we're all focused on Fecal Fiacra. He goes over and he sniffs at the hoof of this elk, and the museum guy's like, "Well, what does it smell like?" And we're all waiting for it to use his new word. He turns around and goes, "Shite." Oh, my brain nearly splattered out of my ears laughing. Oh, I had a headache after that tour. It was a cool museum. It had like a dead whale on the roof and all your standard stuff. Yeah. And what's crazy about Fecal Fiacra Fecal Fiacra O'Houlihan was not long after that school tour. I left that school. I moved across the other side of Dublin and finished primary school there and started secondary school, but then moved back to my original place where I used to live. I went to secondary school, and then we go to secondary school. We had this other school trip to secondary school is kind of like high school. We had this other trip to some kind of farm. Not a farm. It was some kind of place where they were like, you had a bunch, it's like a petting zoo or something. They were showing off animals and what have you. And we go there, and I'm kind of new at this stage. I don't really have any friends and stuff, so I'm kind of keeping to myself. And this was like so embarrassing for me, but it was still hilarious. It wasn't just my class, it was all these other classes. Another bus pulls up and a bunch of more kids come out, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, here comes these guys." And it was like the lower grade classes with all the dunces and people that are troublemakers and what have you. And out comes Toner. Actually, Fecal Fiacra, his name he had a new nickname at this stage. His name was Toner. Anyway, Toner comes in and is like, he's over the moon. He sees animals, and he comes running up to look at these weird small horses, like midget horses, whatever you call those things. And as he was approaching, I noticed he looked way different. his his nose was even bigger, and I was like, holy shit, there's that guy. And he used to be in my class years ago. Things haven't gone well for him. He had this huge beak of a nose, way bigger. I found out later why. He stole a car, crashed it, broke his nose, and got his head stuck in the steering wheel. But anyway, he comes running in, and as he was coming over to these horses, there was some girls from my class leaving, and they were like, "What, the smell of those things, get me out of here." And he, for some reason, takes umbrage with this. He's like, he shouts at them, he's like, "Shut up, you seps, horse shit is good for you." I don't know why he said that, but he goes, "Horse shit is good for you." Turns around to one of the teachers and goes, "Isn't it, sir? Tell them." And the teacher's like, "Well, I wouldn't say it's bad for you, but I don't know about good for you." And in the middle of this, Toner jumps up onto the fence, puts his feet on the bottom fence, and like his whole top half of his body's leaning over the fence, and just inhales a big whiff. And with seeing his new massive turkey vulture nose wafting in all this air, getting the smell of shit, and thinking of when we were kids from that museum, I just broke something in my brain just snapped, and I collapsed in a heap. People just kind of aren't used to me. They don't really know who I'm kind of a new kid, and they just see someone just randomly hit the ground and go into like almost a fit of laughing for no reason. And then I become the weirdo. Everyone thinks I'm a stranger. I tried to tell him why I was laughing, and he was like, "I don't remember that at all." He didn't. He was like, "You don't remember why you got your nickname as a kid?" And he's like, "No." Tried to play it off. But his new nickname, Toner. That's another story. Maybe I'll keep that for another time. You can probably guess where we got it. What did that say? Where are you off to? Whoa. Phew. Okay, you can't jump out from there. Lactating for 20 days, can be milked, but will become aggressive. Oh, well, how do I get that milk out? I know. I'll just sneak underneath and suck it straight from the tit. Ow, that didn't work. Abort. We want a way down to the teleporter room. The teleporter room will be under this. The idea is if there's stuff on these shelves and I can't see up, I'm going to put shelves all the way up to there. I'll go up here and be like, I can see now. So at a glance, I should be able to see all the crap I have. But anyway, we'll go down this way. So to teleport, I'll just come down here. Teleporters will go to all the traders on the map. I'll just be able to go over there, see what they want, come back and just grab it off the shelf, go down to my teleporter room. That's the idea. Alright. Then we go this way. Teleporter room will have a cool ceiling that's black and white. Right, now, how big do we want this teleporter room? We want one teleporter for every trader, and oh, I should have marked more of the teleporters. I only marked like one so far, I think. There's a lot more of them somewhere. I just didn't mark them, but I'll get out and find them at some point. Should we make it the same size as the place above? Why not? accidentally was kind of cool. Let's see what this looks like. Whoa, that was fast. Make a bunch of this easy. I think I have a bunch of it somewhere. Over at those boxes at the boat. Okay. I'll tell the tale of how Fecal became Toner. In primary school, when I was first, when we were in the same class, every now and again the teacher would give us this job to do, like before the break bell, 5 minutes beforehand, we'd get sent up to the teacher's lounge. I would have to put on like a string of kettles, like 5 electric kettles. We'll fill them up with water, turn them on, so the water would be boiled for their break so they could get the tea in or whatever. Other job would be go get a projector and then go photocopy something. So every time we'd get told, I need this photocopied, Toner's hand would pop up. And usually whichever kid put their hand up first would get the job of going to do something. We'd always get sent up in pairs for some reason. So Toner had the job of going to photocopy stuff. Everybody just called him Toner, to the point that even the teacher would call him Toner. I'm guessing the teacher thought we were calling him Toner because he really liked doing photocopies. But one day I found out exactly why he was called Toner. I get selected. I never wanted to do any of these jobs. I always thought, screw you guys. Do your own jobs. Stop sending us. Anyway, I get sent up with him to photocopy something. And he cracks open the machine, takes out the toner, cracks that open and takes a big whiff of that. Starts huffing on ink. Puts it back in. And then the whole way back, he starts like bouncing off the walls and falling over and, you know, just acting to eat it. And he would just keep on saying, like, the whole way back down the corridor, I'm on drugs. And then when we get out to like yard break, he would just say that to everybody, I'm on drugs. It was like he kind of aspired to be on drugs. And turns out as soon as he could get on drugs, he did. But he liked huffing on toner so much, it became his name. And that's a middle school kid. Anyway. Hope you enjoyed my silly little stories. Until next time, Feckless friends, good luck. Give him a bit of this, and a bit of that, and a hoo-yeah. Hoo-yeah.